Have you ever wondered why you wake up at 3 in the morning every single night? While most 70-year-olds experience fragmented sleep, some seem to sleep peacefully through the entire night without interruption. Scientists studying over 8,000 seniors have identified 7 powerful bedtime drinks that make all the difference between restless nights and deep, rejuvenating sleep. These discoveries could transform your nights starting today. Plain water before bed might seem healthy, but it could actually be sabotaging your sleep by triggering your bladder every few hours. What you're about to learn are 7 specific beverages that calm your nervous system, support natural melatonin production, and help you sleep 6 to 8 hours straight without waking. The 7th one will completely surprise you because it's something your grandmother probably drank, but modern medicine forgot about. What if I told you that solving your sleep problems is just the beginning? You're about to discover not just 7 drinks, but the exact science behind why plain water disrupts your sleep after 60. And the final drink at the end will completely change how you think about nighttime hydration and bladder control. Here's something most people don't realize: 83% of adults over 65 wake up at least twice nightly to use the bathroom. The good news: you can be different. These aren't random home remedies or wishful thinking. Each drink contains specific nutrients like magnesium to relax tense muscles, glycine to calm racing thoughts, or natural melatonin to regulate your sleep cycle. They're designed to provide hydration without overloading your bladder warmth, without disrupting digestion, and nutrients that work with your aging body instead of against it. Make sure to watch until the end, because understanding all 7 options could mean the difference between another exhausting night and finally waking up refreshed. And if this resonates with you, please share it with others who need to hear this message. Drink number 1: warm bone broth with a pinch of sea salt. Here's something that will change your entire approach to nighttime hydration. Meet Eleanor, a 77-year-old retired librarian who loved reading before bed. Every night she would wake up at 2:30 and again at 4:15 to use the bathroom. She felt exhausted during the day and relied on afternoon naps just to function. Her daughter noticed she was drinking 2 full glasses of plain water before bed, thinking it would prevent nighttime dehydration. Eleanor tried reducing her water intake, but then felt parched and uncomfortable. What happened next when she switched to warm bone broth amazed her family doctor. The truth is, bone broth provides deep hydration while actually reducing nighttime bathroom trips because of its unique mineral composition. Research from Johns Hopkins University shows that bone broth contains glycine and amino acid that lowers your core body temperature naturally and promotes deeper sleep phases. Just 1 small cup containing 3 grams of glycine helped study participants fall asleep 15 minutes faster and experience 34% fewer awakenings. The minerals in bone broth, especially magnesium and calcium, help your body retain fluid in tissues and cells rather than sending it straight to your bladder like plain water does. How can you tell if inadequate nighttime hydration is affecting your sleep? Pay attention to waking with a dry mouth or throat that makes you cough, feeling groggy and foggy even after 8 hours in bed, experiencing leg cramps or restless legs that jolt you awake and needing to urinate within 30 minutes of lying down. You might notice muscle stiffness when you first stand up in the morning, and you could also experience headaches that start before you even get out of bed. These aren't just minor inconveniences. They're clear signals that your body needs better quality hydration. The good news is you can start improving your sleep tonight with this simple preparation. Start by warming 100 to 120 milliliters of high-quality, low-sodium bone broth on your stove until it reaches a comfortable sipping temperature, and gradually add just a tiny pinch of natural sea salt if your doctor approves. Throughout your evening routine, sip it slowly, 60 to 90 minutes before bedtime, rather than gulping it down. The beautiful part is your bladder stays calm through the night because the nutrients are absorbed into your tissues, and you can actually feel the warmth relaxing your muscles as you prepare for sleep. If you've ever woken up feeling like you barely slept despite being in bed for 8 hours, you know how defeating and frustrating that exhaustion feels. But this next one is even more important. Drink number 2, diluted tart cherry juice with warm water. This one might surprise you because most people think all fruit juice disrupts sleep. Let me tell you about Frank, 73 years old and a former construction worker. He struggled with falling asleep for over an hour each night. His mind would race with worries about his health and finances. He tried melatonin pills, but they left him groggy the next morning. His son read about tart cherry juice online, and Frank was skeptical at first. What happened over the next 2 weeks changed his entire outlook on natural sleep solutions. Here's what Frank discovered: tart cherry juice is one of the only natural food sources that contains actual melatonin in measurable amounts. Studies conducted at Louisiana State University found that adults who consumed tart cherry juice increased their sleep time by an average of 84 minutes per night. The anthocyanins in tart cherries reduce inflammation that can keep you awake with joint pain or discomfort. Unlike sweet cherries or other fruits, cherries specifically contain compounds that signal your brain to produce more melatonin naturally rather than forcing artificial drowsiness. What are the warning signs that low melatonin is disrupting your sleep? Watch for taking more than 30 minutes to fall asleep even when you feel tired, waking up frequently between 1 and 4 in the morning, feeling wide awake at bedtime, even though you were exhausted earlier, and experiencing vivid dreams or nightmares that jolt you awake. You may experience difficulty falling back asleep after bathroom trips, and you could also notice that your sleep never feels deep or restful. These signals are your body telling you that your natural melatonin production needs support. Here's the empowering truth: you can boost melatonin naturally without pills or side effects. Begin with 50 milliliters of pure unsweetened tart cherry juice mixed with 70 milliliters of warm water. Then slowly sip this diluted mixture. As you go about your evening, drink it 60 to 90 minutes before bed and avoid adding any sugar or honey. What's wonderful is you'll notice falling asleep becomes easier within just 3 to 5 nights. Plus, you'll find that morning grogginess disappears because you're supporting natural sleep rhythms instead of forcing them. Anyone who has lain awake staring at the ceiling while the hours tick by understands the mental torture of sleepless nights. Do you struggle to fall asleep even when exhausted? Let me know in the comments, and if you're finding these tips helpful, make sure to subscribe because we share practical advice for seniors that can make daily life easier and more enjoyable. However, what I'm about to share is even more powerful. Drink number 3, chamomile tea with fresh lemon balm. This particular drink is especially calming because it targets the root cause of most sleep problems. Picture this, Margaret, an 81-year-old widow who lived alone after losing her husband. For months, her mind raced every night with anxious thoughts about her grown children, her health, and being alone. She would finally fall asleep around midnight, only to wake at 2 or 3 feeling her heart pounding. Her anxiety was worse at night than during the day. What happened next when her daughter introduced her to this simple herbal tea shocked Margaret herself. What Margaret learned changed everything. Chamomile combined with lemon balm creates a powerful synergy that calms both mind and body simultaneously. A groundbreaking study from the University of Michigan revealed that chamomile tea contains apigenin, a compound that binds to the same brain receptors as anti-anxiety medications, but without any side effects or dependency risk. When combined with lemon balm, which contains rosmarinic acid, the calming effect increases by 47%. Women over 65 who drank this combination nightly fell asleep 16 minutes faster and woke 30% less frequently. How do you know if anxiety and racing thoughts are sabotaging your rest? Look out for lying in bed, mentally reviewing your entire day or planning tomorrow, feeling tension in your jaw, shoulders, or hands, even when trying to relax, experiencing a racing heartbeat when you should be winding down and worrying about not being able to sleep, which makes falling asleep even harder. Some people notice their breathing becomes shallow and rapid at bedtime, while others experience stomach butterflies or churning despite eating hours earlier. These indicators are serious warnings that your nervous system needs gentle, calming support. The encouraging reality is you have natural tools to quiet your anxious mind. Take the first step by steeping 1 chamomile tea bag with 3 to 4 fresh lemon balm leaves in 150 milliliters of hot water for 5 to 7 minutes. And over time, let the tea cool to a warm, comfortable drinking temperature. During your regular activities, sip it 45 to 60 minutes before bed while doing something calming like light reading or gentle stretching. The amazing thing is, your racing thoughts begin to quiet within 20 to 30 minutes, and you'll discover that sleep comes naturally instead of feeling forced. People who have experienced the torture of an overactive mind at bedtime can relate to the relief of finally feeling mental peace. Yet this pales in comparison to what follows. Drink number 4. Warm almond milk with cinnamon and nutmeg. What I'm about to share will surprise anyone who thinks dairy is necessary for sleep. Consider two 79-year-olds, Ruth and Dorothy. Ruth drank warm cow's milk before bed and struggled with bloating gas and digestive discomfort that kept her awake. Dorothy switched to warm almond milk with spices and slept peacefully through most nights. 5 years later, Ruth still took sleep medications occasionally, while Dorothy maintained natural deep sleep. The difference: almond milk provided the same sleep benefits without the digestive distress. Here's the reality: lactose intolerance increases dramatically after 60, and dairy can actually sabotage sleep for many seniors. Researchers have found that unsweetened almond milk contains magnesium, which relaxes over 300 different muscle groups in your body, including those that control breathing and heart rate. The addition of cinnamon helps stabilize blood sugar overnight, preventing the 3 a.m. wake-ups caused by blood sugar drops. Nutmeg contains myristicin, a natural compound that enhances the calming neurotransmitter GABA. Together, these create a powerful sleep-promoting beverage. The signs of digestive issues disrupting your sleep include waking with heartburn, acid reflux, or a sour taste in your mouth, experiencing bloating or gas that makes lying down uncomfortable, feeling nauseous, or having an upset stomach in the middle of the night and burping, or experiencing indigestion after your bedtime drink. You might find yourself needing antacids regularly, and you may discover that lying flat makes digestive symptoms worse. These symptoms are critical indicators that your bedtime beverage needs to change. What's hopeful is switching to almond milk eliminates these problems completely. You can start today by warming 120 to 150 milliliters of unsweetened almond milk with 1/8 teaspoon of cinnamon and a tiny pinch of nutmeg. And progressively make this your nightly routine. In your everyday life, drink it 60 to 90 minutes before bed and avoid adding honey or sugar. The rewarding aspect is digestive comfort returns immediately, and you'll realize that deep sleep follows when your stomach isn't fighting dairy. Those of us who have experienced nighttime heartburn or bloating recognize how impossible it is to sleep when your stomach is churning. But wait until you hear what's coming next. Drink number 5, coconut water with ginger. This next discovery changes everything most people believe about hydration. Meet Harold, an 84-year-old gardener who loved working in his yard. Every single night he experienced painful leg cramps that jolted him awake around 2 or 3 in the morning. He tried stretching, massage, and even prescription medications, but nothing provided lasting relief. His legs would seize up so severely that he had to stand and walk around for 10 minutes. His physical therapist suggested this unusual combination, and Harold was doubtful. The results within 1 week left him amazed. The key insight: leg cramps and restless legs at night are usually caused by electrolyte imbalances that plain water cannot fix. Evidence from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition proves that coconut water contains a perfect natural balance of potassium, magnesium, and sodium that stops nighttime muscle cramps. When warmed and mixed with fresh ginger, the circulation improves and muscles relax completely. Seniors who consumed this combination experienced 62% fewer leg cramps and muscle spasms within 7 days. How can you tell if electrolyte imbalance is stealing your sleep? Pay attention to sudden sharp muscle cramps in your calves, feet, or thighs during the night, restless legs that feel like they need to move constantly when you lie down, muscle twitches or jerks that wake you from light sleep and feeling off balance or dizzy when you stand up after lying down. You might notice increased thirst despite drinking water throughout the day, and you could also experience unusual fatigue that doesn't improve with rest. These aren't just age-related annoyances, they're fixable mineral deficiencies. The good news is restoring balance takes just days with the right approach. Start by diluting 60 milliliters of pure coconut water with 60 milliliters of warm water and adding 1 thin slice of fresh ginger, and gradually make this part of your after-dinner routine. Throughout your evening, sip it slowly 75 to 90 minutes before bed. The beautiful part is leg cramps disappear often after just 2 or 3 nights, and you can sleep in any position without fear of sudden muscle seizures. If you've ever been jolted awake by excruciating leg cramps that leave you limping, you know the fear of going to bed wondering when the next attack will strike. Which of these drinks surprised you the most? Share your thoughts below. And if these strategies are making sense to you, please subscribe so you don't miss more tips that can improve your health and independence. However, the most important part is still ahead. Drink number 6, passion flower tea with valerian root. This particular combination is powerful because it addresses the deepest level of sleep disruption. Let me tell you about 2 neighbors, both 76 years old. Elizabeth took prescription sleep medications for years and felt dependent on them despite side effects like morning confusion and increased fall risk. Patricia used this herbal tea combination and achieved the same deep sleep naturally without any medication. 3 years later, Elizabeth was trying to wean off her pills while Patricia continued sleeping naturally. The difference became obvious to everyone who knew them. Here's what most people don't realize: passion flower and valerian root work together to increase GABA activity in your brain more effectively than either herb alone. Clinical studies show that this combination reduces the time needed to fall asleep by 43%, while increasing deep sleep phases by 29%. Unlike sleeping pills that force unconsciousness, these herbs support your body's natural sleep architecture, allowing you to cycle properly through all sleep stages. Seniors using this combination reported better dream recall, improved memory consolidation during sleep, and 0 morning grogginess. What are the warning signs that your sleep architecture is damaged? Watch for falling asleep instantly from exhaustion, but waking frequently throughout the night. Never dreaming or remembering dreams, which indicates lack of REM sleep. Waking up feeling like you never truly slept, despite being in bed 8 hours, and experiencing confusion or disorientation when you first wake up. You may experience difficulty with memory or concentration during the day, and you could also notice that you feel drowsy all afternoon despite sleeping at night. These signals are your brain telling you it's not getting proper restorative sleep cycles. Here's the empowering truth: you can restore natural, healthy sleep patterns at any age. Begin with steeping 1 passion flower tea bag and 1/4 teaspoon of dried valerian root in 150 milliliters of hot water for 8 to 10 minutes. Then slowly let it cool slightly and add a drop of vanilla extract if desired. As you go about your nightly routine, drink this 45 to 60 minutes before bed. What's wonderful is deep restorative sleep returns naturally within 5 to 7 days. Plus, you'll find mental clarity and energy improve dramatically during your waking hours. Anyone who has felt the frustration of being in bed for 8 hours but feeling like they barely slept understands the exhaustion of poor sleep quality. But this next drink is the most crucial. Drink number 7, warm gelatin, water with glycine. Now for the final and most important sleep drink. This one is particularly surprising because almost nobody knows about it anymore. Most people have never heard of using gelatin for sleep, but what they don't realize is that this was a common remedy that helped our grandparents sleep deeply before modern sleeping pills existed. Meet William and Patricia, both 83 years old today. For decades, William relied on over-the-counter sleep aids that gradually stopped working and left him feeling foggy all morning. He increased his dosage over the years and worried about dependency. Patricia discovered gelatin water and experienced the deepest sleep she'd had in 20 years without any pills. Both had similar health conditions and activity levels. What made the difference became crystal clear when William finally tried this forgotten remedy and threw away his sleeping pills within 2 weeks. Here's what changes everything. Gelatin contains concentrated glycine, the single most powerful natural sleep-promoting amino acid ever studied. Research from the National Institutes of Health proves that just 3 grams of glycine before bed lowers your core body temperature, naturally slows your heart rate to optimal sleeping rhythm, and increases slow-wave sleep by up to 25%. This deep sleep phase is when your brain clears toxins, your muscles repair completely, and your memory consolidates. Older adults who used glycine fell asleep faster, stayed asleep longer, and reported feeling mentally sharper the next day than they had in years. How can you tell if lack of deep sleep is aging your brain and body faster? Pay attention to feeling mentally foggy or confused, even after sleeping 8 hours, struggling to remember names, appointments, or recent conversations, waking up with unexplained aches and pains throughout your body, and looking noticeably more tired with dark circles or puffy eyes. You might notice increased clumsiness or slower reaction times during the day. And you could also experience mood swings, irritability, or depression that seems to worsen over time. These aren't just normal aging, they're reversible consequences of inadequate deep sleep. The positive news is gelatin water can restore deep sleep within days. Make your first move by dissolving 1 teaspoon of unflavored gelatin powder in 120 milliliters of warm water and stirring until completely dissolved. And step-by-step sip this 30 to 45 minutes before bedtime. Within your normal schedule, make this a non-negotiable part of your evening routine like brushing your teeth. The satisfying result is waking up feeling genuinely refreshed for the first time in years. And you'll experience improved memory, reduced pain, better mood, and renewed energy. When you've lain awake night after night despite trying everything else, you realize how precious and life-changing true deep sleep really is. This alone could add years of vitality and independence to your life by protecting your brain and body during sleep. Looking back, what we've discovered today goes far beyond simple bedtime drinks. These 7 beverages, from bone broth to gelatin water, from tart cherry juice to herbal teas, aren't just about sleeping through the night. They're about reclaiming the deep restorative sleep that heals your body and sharpens your mind. The good news is you don't need expensive supplements or prescription medications. You're not destined to wake up exhausted every morning for the rest of your life. The choices you make tonight about what you drink before bed can dramatically improve how you feel tomorrow and every day after. If you've recognized yourself struggling with any of these sleep problems, know that relief is possible starting tonight. Your body still has the ability to sleep deeply when you give it the right support. Tonight or today, choose just 1 drink from this list to try. Perhaps you'll start with warm almond milk if dairy bothers you. Maybe you'll try tart cherry juice if falling asleep is your biggest challenge. You might begin with gelatin water if you want the most powerful deep sleep solution available. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share which drink you plan to try first and what sleep problem you hope it will solve. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to having you join us again in the next video.